How's it going, everybody? It's Sean here, and I'm back today to give you a review of the Travis Scott collaboration with Jordan Brand on this Jumpman Jack trainer in the Sail and Mocha colorway. So after years and years of collaborating together, Jordan Brand has finally released Travis Scott's first signature silhouette. This is called the Jumpman Jack trainer, and this colorway released on April 30th, and it marks the first colorway to have an official full release. So these retailed for a price of $200 or $260 here in Canada. And the official colorway for this shoe is Sail, Dark Mocha, University Red, and Muslin. And based off of what Nike has been pushing and advertising, this is meant to be a shoe that can be worn anywhere, any place, and pretty much for any purpose. So similar to the classic Nike Air Trainer, which was meant to be that one shoe you wear to the gym, that's going to be good enough for aerobics, for running, for basketball. This shoe, while not specifically marketed as a performance shoe, obviously shares some of those same characteristics when it comes to its design. So first off, here's a quick look at the packaging. So this comes in a brown colored cardboard box, and my first impression of this box is that it's extremely sturdy. So all the panels on this box are much thicker than your normal cardboard, and you can see we have both Jordan Brand and Cactus Jack co-branding along with this crown logo on the very top. The back of the box is covered in this red colored liner, and we also have Cactus Jack Jordan Brand co-branded paper as well. And even though I already took them out, each shoe comes individually wrapped in this white colored Travis Scott Jordan Brand co-branded paper too. And inside the box, it also comes with this canvas dust bag. On the top, we have both the Cactus Jack smiley face logo and the Jumpman logo, which is actually embroidered into the bag. We have these two straps, which allows you to carry the bag like this, and it's adjustable with these cords, which is covered in this red colored lace tip. So as for the shoe itself, jumping right into the details, on the toe box, this is covered in this brown or dark mocha colored canvas. Surrounding the front toe cap, we have this sail colored leather, which is a little bit more smooth compared to the leather used on the rest of the shoe. But then on the sides of the toe box, we have more sail leather, but this here is heavily tumbled. This same leather covers the eyelets of the sneaker, and then crossing over the midfoot, we have this strap, which is also constructed out of that sail colored tumbled leather. We have this embroidery on the lateral side, and this strap is held together using Velcro. On the mid panel, we have more of that brown colored canvas, and then stitched on top of this, we have this nubuck swoosh, which is done in this tan color, and this being a Travis Scott collab, of course, it's done in this reverse fashion. When you compare this to the swoosh on the medial side, so on this side the swoosh is kept normal, this is a much smaller swoosh and it's not reversed. Moving downwards, we have more of that tumbled leather, which wraps around the heel of the sneaker. We have the Travis Scott smiley face embroidered in red on the bottom, we have this layer of nubuck in the middle, and then the top portion of the ankle collar area, this is covered in more of that brown colored canvas. As far as the laces go, so this being a collaboration, I was pleased to see that they offer 4 different lace options. The standard lace that they come with is a flat style white lace. They also come with 3 other laces, a plain one in brown, another brown lace that has hits of sail within it, along with a vintage looking cream color, which matches the color of the swoosh. Underneath this, the bottom half of the tongue is covered in brown canvas, and then the top of the tongue is covered in this tumbled, genuine brown leather. And then we have this Jumpman logo embroidered on the tongue in red. The back of the tongue and the interior of the shoe, this is covered in this dark brown colored liner. And the collar of the shoe is pretty thinly padded, it's really not a beefy feeling shoe, and it feels more on the minimal side. And then as far as the insoles go, so these come with a decently thick foam line insole. It's lined with these custom graphics on the top, with this red colored Jumpman featured on the heel. So the upper of the shoe sits atop this foam midsole, which based off of the official description, I couldn't find what this exact type of foam is, whether it's EVA, Phylon, or something like that. But either way, it's entirely painted in white. There's a pretty firm feel to it to the touch, and you'll notice how on the lateral side, wraps up and onto the upper, giving you additional containment around this midfoot area right here. Turning the shoe over to the bottom, so this outsole is constructed out of a gum rubber finish and has a very unique traction pattern to it. And featured across in large capital letters, we have the word Jack. And according to what I've read online, this Jack branding is supposed to wear away over time the more you wear these shoes. So that breaks down the look and the construction of this pair. And for those wondering about how these fit, that is probably the $1,000,000 question. So my foot measures as a true size 10, slightly on the wider side, meaning when I go to a shoe store, step on a branding device, I'm actually a size 10 in between a D and an E width. So without knowing any better, I got these in a size 10, expecting that they do fit true to size. And overall, I have to say this shoe runs a little bit more on the long side. So getting these in my true size, there was about a thumb's width space between the top of the shoe and the top of my toe. To me, that's a little bit long. I prefer somewhere around an index finger's width space, but the width of the shoe is perfectly fine. So I feel like if you have a narrow foot and you like more of that snug one-to-one fit, then you probably could go a half size down in these. But for those that have a normal width foot or those that have a little bit more of a wider foot, you'd probably be better off going true to size, just because I'm a little bit worried if you go a half size down, the width might be a little bit too snug. But again, it comes down to personal preference. If you'd rather suffer around the width of the shoe just to get the exact length, then go a half size down. To give you guys a point of comparison, I also wear a size 10 or true to size in most Air Jordan 1s, the Air Jordan 3, recent Air Jordan 4s, as well as recent Air Max 1s and Air Max 90s. Moving on to the comfort, so these surprisingly were a lot more minimalistic than I expected. Even though we have this foam midsole, which is this white part right here, trying these on, it felt very, very low to the ground. I guess that makes sense considering this is marketed as a training shoe, even though it's meant for lifestyle use. But the on-foot feeling, it really feels like I'm barely off the ground. I have a lot of ground feel, it feels very stable, but there's really not too much from a softness and cushioning standpoint. So if you're looking for a shoe that's extremely pillowy, very soft with a lot of cushioning, this is definitely not it. But if you don't mind a shoe that's very stable and that feels a lot lower to the ground, and you're okay with a shoe that doesn't feel like there's that much cushioning underfoot, then I think you'll be totally fine with these. Finally, in terms of the quality and the craftsmanship, so first off, the material quality was a pleasant surprise. All the materials used on this shoe felt pretty good. I was totally expecting something that had a lot more synthetic feeling materials, but I think Jordan Brand really delivered with the materials on this pair. Everything from the leathers, the nubucks, the canvas, they really delivered and gave us something a little bit more premium than normal. And the build of the shoe I thought was pretty good. There were quite a few glue stains around the midsole area where it connects to the upper. But other than that, I thought the panels were consistent between my left and right feet. The stitch job was really good. So really, as cliche as it sounds, getting these in hand, I ended up feeling a lot more impressed with the end product than I expected I would. So with all of that out of the way now, let me toss these on feet, I'll lace them up for you, and I'll show you guys how these look. All in all, I gotta say this is a solid debut when it comes to Travis Scott's first signature sneaker from Jordan Brand. Obviously, there's so much hype surrounding this shoe, and yes, these would definitely sit if it wasn't associated with Travis Scott, but how many years do we have to go through the same dance? Obviously, Travis Scott has drawing power, and Jordan Brand is gonna milk that until they can't. So whether you're interested in these because of the association with Travis Scott, whether it's because they have high resale prices, or if you're just a genuine fan of this shoe, if you're someone that just likes the Nike trainer look, then kudos to you. There's really no right or wrong answer why someone should like a shoe. So if you were lucky enough to grab these for retail, then all the more power to you. So leave your thoughts down below. What are your thoughts on this Jumpman Jack trainer? Are you a fan of this colorway? Are you a fan of the silhouette? Or do you think this whole Travis Scott Jordan association is kind of played out by now? As usual though, if you guys enjoyed this review, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. You can follow me on Instagram at esco8, check me out on X at sean.go spelt out, and visit my website at seango.ca. So thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoy this review. Appreciate the continued love and support, and I'll catch all of you in my next video.